Hi everyone, welcome to Learn Japanese Daily. My name is Nami. I'm the person who will be your companion along the path of learning Japanese. There were some persons said that it is difficult to use Japanese fluently and competently. Well, it is easy to understand because Japanese is recognized as the second difficult language in the world, only after Arabic. But in return, if you're good at Japanese, you will have lots of good opportunities for your career. For example, you will have a good job with high salary. You have a chance to work with Japanese people and also can go to Japan for free. It is worthy to exchange, right? Actually, Japanese language is not as hard as many people think. If you have a good method to study, it will be easier for you. I will always be beside you and guide you in detail to help you can understand thoroughly all the lessons, that you will find that Japanese is really interesting. Before moving to our lesson today, I have some questions for you. Do you know anything about the writing systems of Japanese? Or anything about the situation of using Japanese language in the world nowadays? If you don't know it clearly, it's okay. Together, let's find the answers for those questions in the lesson today. The content of the lesson is divided into two parts. Part 1. General Introduction of Japanese Language. Part 2. Introduce the writing system of Japanese language. Now, let's move to the part 1. So, why Japanese is popular? As you can see, Japanese is a language that is considered difficult. The demand of learning Japanese is increasing. There are some reasons to explain for it. First of all, it is because of the foreign relations between Japan and other countries in the world. Second, studying or working. Third, some persons they are interested in Japanese culture or custom. Besides that, some persons want to learn Japanese to read comics without translate, or to watch movie without subtitle. It sounds interesting, right? How about you? Why are you interested in Japanese language? Here's the situation of Japanese. Let's see the situations in America. According to the US Census, America has over 431,000 Japanese learners. It stands fifth in the world. Besides that, the number of Japanese learners, institutions, and teachers in the United States have all increased sharply in the last several decades. With such a rapid increase, it has caused problems. As we can see, the vacancy of Japanese language in any companies are not decreased, especially in positions which require high qualifications. There are still many positions with high salary but have not recruited yet. Why? Although many people study Japanese, but mostly of them study by halves, lack of dedication, or give up. And what we have in here is the numbers of learners still increasing, while the human resources still lacking. It's really wasting time, isn't it? So to solve the problem, when learning Japanese, you need to notice some points. First is the pronunciation. The pronunciation is not difficult at all. It has only a few words that are different from English, but most of that you can pronounce easily. It also doesn't have complicated word stress like in English. However, we still have to study how to pronounce correctly, because in some cases, if you don't focus on word stress, then when you talk, it will take a few seconds for the native speaker to understand what you just say. Second is tone. When you hear Japanese people talk to each other, we can clearly feel their voice is really soft and gentle. And the intonation in Japanese is not difficult. It is really interesting. Third is the grammar. The grammar of Japanese language is a little bit different from English. Therefore, it will have some difficulties when studying it. But it is alright. All we have to do is practice a lot, then we can solve the problem easily. Let's move to the part 2. In this part, I will introduce to you the writing system of Japanese language. Japanese has 4 writing systems: hiragana, katakana, kanji, and romaji. As you can see in the screen, there are 4 pictures correspond to each system. So, why Japanese language have to use so much writing systems? I will introduce to you each system clearly. Among 4 of the writing systems, hiragana and katakana is the 2 most important systems you need to learn from the beginning. The hiragana is also called the soft writing system. It is include 50 characters. Hiragana is primarily used to represent Japanese words and used mostly. The katakana is also called the hard writing system. It represents foreign words. Japanese is a language with many borrowed words. For example, taxi from the word taxi, class from the word class. The way to read katakana is the same as hiragana. Third, kanji. Kanji is a writing system which is borrowed from Chinese and used mostly in everywhere because of its convenience. Although many people complained that kanji was difficult to learn, but once you get used to it, without it you will find it difficult to read and write. Romaji is the application of the Latin script to write the Japanese language through the characters A, B, C. With these characters, it is useful for the beginners to learn Japanese writing system. But when you have already remembered all the hiragana and katakana, you don't have to use it anymore. Remember, each of the writing systems have their own functions. It creates abundance and special characteristic of Japanese language. Now, I will introduce to you some things more. If you find it is hard to learn by heart the writing system, here are some tips for you to study. First, playing games. There are some links of games on learnjapanesedaily.com that can help you to remember it easier. Just sitting and playing games, it is one of an effective way to learn writing systems. It sounds great, right? Second, learning letters through cards. You can buy in any bookstore or you can create it by yourself. Third, reading books. You can practice to read children's Japanese stories. And step by step, keep studying. You will be success. Here are the resume of the first lesson today. In this lesson, we have learned the writing system of Japanese language and the general introduction of Japanese language. In the writing systems, we have hiragana, katakana, kanji, and romaji. The general introduction include the grammar, tone, and pronunciation. The content of lesson 1 is easy, right? In this lesson, you don't have to remember too much. In the following lesson, we will together learn the writing systems in detail. And this time, we have to use our brain a lot to remember those words. Don't worry, I'm sure that you can do it. So, the lesson today is finished, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next lesson. Thank you for your attention, and see you again.